What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Metallica. Yes, indeed. Metallica Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi-bob, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Rossiu. Sure, why not? And it was also the winner of the Premier Tier Patreon Request Prioritization Poll, winning with 40% of the vote, moving from number 876 in the queue straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. They all want to see me react to this. It is Metallica with a live performance. Remember that, that's important. A live performance of their song, Battery. Now, have I heard the song before? Full disclosure, yes. Yes, I have. I have heard this song more times than I could possibly count. It is, in all honesty, off the album Master of Puppets. If I'm being honest, it's my second favorite song on that album. Now, don't get me wrong, my first favorite, my number one on that album is Orion. I love that song. But I would definitely put Battery at second place. I love this song. And considering the fact that this was their album opener, this is how they started the album, man, what a great choice. I love this tune. So yes, I am very, very familiar with this tune. Having said that, this is a live performance. So, full disclosure, full transparency here, not trying to fool anybody, I will not be taking the song itself into account here in any way, shape, or form. The songwriting, not a factor. The arranging, not a factor. The instrumentation, obvious what the instrumentation is, but all that stuff that has to do with the composition and construction of the song, not a factor. Only thing I will be reacting to, evaluating, and scoring is the live performance. It's going to be a lot more about the visuals here. It's going to be about stage presence, stage energy, stage interaction, crowd interaction, production, showmanship. This is what I'm going to be grading it on, not the song itself. I will take how well they played the song into account slightly, but that's pretty much it. So please keep that in mind. Let me see. This was posted by Foster Pimp.
Your thoughts?
What? Ah, God, these names. And the video has 3.9 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Metallica, Battery, live in Seattle, 1989. Have I seen this? I might have. I might have seen this. Oh boy. Okay, here's the better question. Do I remember it? I don't think so. We're gonna have to kind of play this one by ear, folks. I may have seen this. It's very possible. If I have seen it, I'll let you know. I promise. I'll stop. I'll say, yeah, I recognize this. I've seen it before. And then we'll go from there. But I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna assume I have not. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Okay. I don't recognize it. It does not look familiar to me, but there is a chance I may have seen it and I just don't remember. I'm gonna have to go with that. If I have seen this before, it's been so long that I forgot. I mean, that is a possibility, but in any case, it's not ringing any bells. So we're gonna roll with this. The energy through the roof, I like it. As far as I can tell, they're playing the song well. I mean, Lars is Lars. I mean, that, you know, the dragging and the rushing are obvious, but his fills are clean. When he does get into the groove, it's solid. But yeah, the rushing and the dragging are just it's obvious. Especially when you're transitioning phrases. I guess that would come down to fill work. I mean, the fills are nice, but I don't know. I feel like he rushes on every fill. So it's like he's in a hurry to get to the next phrase, you know. And that's very typical of drummers. That's one of the biggest things one of the biggest obstacles that most drummers need to overcome is rushing the transition from phrase to phrase. So yeah, we're there. This is before in-ears. Yeah, this is 89. This is before these little beauties came along. As far as playing the song, guitar, bass, vocals sound good. They sound good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I got no issue with anything that's happening there. Visually, this is where everything's really gonna come into play here as far as my evaluation and score go. Visually, everything looks good. I'm not gonna say everything looks great because it doesn't look great, but it does look good. I don't see anything bad happening. I am seeing crowd interaction. That's the big one for me. If you don't have crowd interaction, that's a huge minus in my book. But no, I've seen crowd interaction. I like it. The stage presence is there. Stage energy's there. Kirk's moving around. Jason, whenever he can, is moving around. I see him doing a lot of headbanging, which looks good. Stage interaction, haven't really seen any, if I'm being honest. Not yet. Now look, we still got 3 minutes to go. A lot of time, you know, for that to happen is available, but as it stands right now, I haven't seen anybody interacting with each other on stage. Crowd interactions covered. Showmanship, yeah, I'll check that box. They're putting on a good show. I'll give it to them. Production, nah, there really isn't any. Lights, there's lighting. But they've never really been known for being a production-based band, so that's fine. No, across the board, they've pretty much checked off every box. They've got 4 out of the 5 plus the bonus points for the no, actually, no, they don't have bonus points for production. They don't have production, so never mind. But they got 4 out of the 5 so far, including the big one. The big one they really needed, which was crowd interaction, so they're doing all right. They're doing no complaints so far. If I can see some crowd interact, not crowd interaction, if I can see some stage interaction, I'll be thrilled. But we'll see if they actually get that. Like I said, as far as the song goes, they're playing it well. I got no complaints about what they're playing. You know, like I said, Lars is Lars, so we'll just leave it at that. Let's keep going here. Wait, I see James back there interacting with Lars. Rush there. I think James is interacting with Lars. Yes, he is. Okay, so we got stage interaction. Battery with the E. Yeah. Piss and go. That how they ended the show? Ending with Battery? That's not a bad way to end, actually, now that I think about it. But something tells me they're not done. Something tells me they're going to come out and do some encores. Huh. Yeah, I think they're going to come back out and do some encores, probably. Then again, I don't know. Were Metallica... prior to the Black Album, were Metallica all that big on taking bows? I don't know. I don't know if they were or not. Interesting. Okay. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Metallica with a live performance of Battery. This was a request from Rosiu. R-O-S-I-U, yeah, Rosiu. And this was also the winner of the Premier Tier Patreon Request Prioritization Poll, winning with 40% of the vote, moving it from number 876 in the queue, straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. Okay, couple of things before I give my score. Number 1, during the course of watching this video, I was never 100% sure if I had seen this video or not. Here's the thing. Watching the video, it didn't resonate with me. It didn't ring any bells. Now, is there a chance I have seen it before? There is definitely a chance I've seen it before, but I don't remember it. And it didn't ring any bells. It didn't jog my memory and go, oh yeah, you've seen this before. I never had that epiphany. I never had that light bulb go off. So we're just gonna roll with the fact that either I've never seen it before, or if I have seen it, it's been so long that I've forgotten about it. I don't know which one it is, but in either case, it didn't resonate. It didn't ring any bells with me, so we're going to just go with it. Number 2, I've heard the song before. I know the song Battery very well. It's my second favorite song off of the Master of Puppets album. I've actually played the song before a couple of times, so it's not unfamiliar to me. I'm very well versed in the song. Therefore, I can't use the song in my evaluation and in my review because I didn't react to it. So the only thing I am basing my scoring and my evaluation on is the live performance. It's more about what I saw, not very much about what I heard. I am taking how well they played the song into account, slightly, very slightly, but honestly, it really did not affect the score. The score is really based off of the visual, if I'm being honest with you. So let's get to that score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that live performance. Remember, it's for what we saw, not so much what we heard. I'm going to give that live performance an 8.3. Yeah, 8.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, 8.3. What does that mean? Well, an 8.3 would translate to a great skill rating, so I think they did a great job with their live performance. I would give that 4 out of 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.3, great scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, did they check off all the boxes? Other than production, yes, they did check off every single box. I was a little bit worried about stage interaction, but they did get it. Let's go down the list. Stage presence, pretty much from the beginning, yeah, their presence was felt. Stage energy, tons. A lot of movement and motion around the stage. A lot of times they planted their feet, yes, but when they did plant their feet, like I'm gonna use Jason as an example. When Jason would plant his feet, man, his head it wasn't even just his head, it was his head, his shoulders, his chest, his abdomen. I mean, he was just absolutely getting his whole upper body into it with the head banging, and I love seeing that. And I do count that as energy. It is movement and motion. Are his feet planted? Yes, they are, but he's not standing there motionless like a tree. He may have his feet planted for balance, but he is headbanging like his life depends on it. So I appreciate that. That's effort, that's energy, and I absolutely dig it. And I can say that not just for him, I can say that for James, I can say that for Kirk, I can say that for, Lars back there doing everything he can. Here's the thing with Lars though, he really puts himself into it. He does. Sometimes at the sacrifice of playing clean, you know what I mean? But he still puts on a good show, so I can't fault him for that part. That's stage energy, stage interaction. Here's where I was worried. When I got to the first pause, I hadn't seen any, and I even said I hope I see some. So we'll see what happens. Sure enough, we had that time during the guitar solo where James went back and interacted with Lars. That is stage interaction. Would I have liked to have seen more? Sure, I would have liked to have seen more, but at least I got that, so I'll take it and run with it. The big one, crowd interaction. Oh yeah, we had a lot more. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't expecting as much as we saw. I was expecting a little bit from Jason, I was expecting a little bit from James. I wasn't expecting anything from Kirk, but Kirk came out there, man, and he absolutely was out there raising his hand, looking into the crowd, pointing to the crowd. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting to see all of that. That was good. And I saw more from Jason and more from James than I thought I was gonna see. So yeah, kudos to them. Great crowd interaction there. I loved seeing all of it. Showmanship, yeah, I'll absolutely give it that. They put on a great show. I never felt bored watching them once, so gotta give it to them. Production, nah, there wasn't any. But you know what? Like I've always said, production's bonus points. They don't need production. It's fine. They're not a production-based band. Now, if they were one of those bands, I'm not going to mention any names, but if they were one of those bands who literally stand there, don't move, and they rely on their production to put on the stage show, then yeah, production better be there. But they're not that. They definitely move around quite a bit, and they put on a good show themselves, so they don't need production. What really kind of impressed me more than anything was this. From what I can tell, this was towards the end of the show. This was either the last song of their show or it was the last song of the show. They leave, come back on stage 30 seconds later and do a couple of encores. What really kind of impressed me about the last show is the amount of intensity that they had. Now, granted, Battery is an intense song. It absolutely is. So if you're gonna play that as your last song, your intensity better be there. And it was. It met my expectation as far as intensity level goes. And for being able to pull off that level of intensity that far into the show, like I said, possibly the last song or last song, to still have that level of intensity, that is, I hate to say it, but that's impressive. It is. So I was kind of taken back by that, if I'm being honest. It kind of made me take a double take and go, wow, okay, they're really living it all out there. And that's one of the things I've always admired about bands who do care about their live product. When you have a band that will go out there and literally leave it all out there on the field. They went to the point where they finished the song and they got nothing left. That always impresses me, and I always respect that. And that's exactly what it looked like, man. They looked, when they were doing their last couple of choruses and when they were walking off the stage, they looked beat. So if they are coming back out for encores, man, I feel bad for them because they got to come out and get that energy level back up and get that intensity level back up for whatever they're going to be doing. Now, I don't know what their encores might be. They might slow things down a little bit, and they might do Fade to Black, or they might do Sanitarium. For all I know, I don't know what comes next after that. If they're doing anything, that might very well be the end. I'm not sure because I don't know what Metallica's stance is that early on as far as like taking a bow after the show. I don't know if they're the kind of band that would go out there, you know, as a cohesive unit, you know, come together, take the group bow, and then leave. I don't know if they're that kind of a band back then. I know they do now, but back then I don't know if they did or not. I hope they did. So I'm not sure. If you guys could do me a favor in the comments, let me know. Was this the last song of the set, or was this the last song of the set where they would come back out and do some encores? Or was that it? Did the house lights come up and show's over, go home? I don't know. But in any case, I was actually a little more impressed by the live show than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, that's why I'm giving the 8.3. I think they did a great job, believe it or not. So yeah, 8.3, I feel good with that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow. What do you say? We got an 8.3, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.